Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Kavalkade titled Last Rites. And if we switch over to here, we have them on Spotify. The last track we reviewed for them was Death Wish, which I thoroughly enjoyed and I'm glad to be hearing more of them. We've also got lyrics this time, just in case I missed the story whilst listening to the song. So we're going to listen through this track from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go. It's really heavy right off the bat, isn't it? It's metal. The middle works. Kind of gives me a mid-2000s new metal vibe. Kind of some kill switch engage kind of sensations going on here. Those kicks are cutting into the mix, aren't they? I like it, don't get me wrong, but there's their side chaining, and I think it allows them to have a bit more presence, you know? Sounds heavy. Nice lead lines here to complement the rhythm parts. Lovely syncopation between the kicks and those chugged power chords. Okay, where are we going with this? I'm wondering, yeah, I'm curious. I heard parts of that, so we've got stuff talking about like an angel coming out the other side. Given the Last Rites thing, my understanding is it's probably a song about someone dying or something like that, or someone passing away. And the growling is nice and present in the mix. It's visceral, man. It suits the tone of these guitars really well. I think the guitars are a nice melodic flourish that complement the sort of really brutal growling we've got going on here. They're nice contrasts. They suit each other well. And again, we've got the drums and the bass, I presume, going in and totally in time with those rhythms. It's a really lovely combination of elements. What kind of God? Something to die. Something everything you wanted or something like that. So maybe like God took the person away or something like that. Which is terrible. It's really sad. It kind of sounds like the vocalist is crying out for that person that got taken too early, you know? Nice instrumental break here. Some tritones going on there. Sick, dude. Sick. Yeah, watching the world burn. So maybe God is just watching the world burn and doesn't sort of get involved unless it's taking people away. Cool. Nice change of pace, eh? Going double time with those kicks and snares? Maybe. Is that how double time works? I don't know. It's got a swing to it, eh? Oh? There is some great compression on the mix, and I do like the compression. It helps to glue everything together. I think if they'd compressed this mix any more in the master chain, I don't know if they're using sub buses or something like that. I think you're at that sweet spot where if you'd done any more compression for this, it would have been detrimental to the sound of the track. I think that they managed to balance last rites well. Yeah, see how that solo's coming through? Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That was a sizzler little solo we had there, isn't it? And we had a bit of shred in there, some nice 16th, those eighth note triplets going on with those hammer-ons and pull-offs and such. It was nice to have those harmonized guitars come in occasionally, along with the wah pedal that we may or may not have had there. And there was enough change to keep that passage interesting. There were a lot of notes, but the vast majority of them were meaningful and made sense. And I'm really happy with that solo section. It was a nice adjustment from what we've had already. You know, the rhythm guitar has been fairly melodic, or like quite melodic so far. You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy this kind of music. Again, it reminds me of a lot of the stuff from the mid 2000s and like 2010s, like the Kill Switch Engaged and As I Lay Dying and stuff like that. And all that remains. And I the vocal style again. I think I may have mentioned this with Death Wish. It really reminds me of Arch Enemy. That's the band. I don't know why that was difficult. Like I remember that it sounded like it. The vocal style was kind of similar to that. But yeah, the name escaped me. But definitely like Arch Enemy. It's a nice combination of these different elements to create a track that still sounds. Kavalkade still have their own tone, you know. And break down the finish. Okay. Alright, I dig it. Alright. Cool. And we've also got the lyrics here just before we get into the conclusion. We got, the dawn held such light, an angel dances inside. Live forever behind the curtains. Bar the windows, lock them tight. Don't let it out of sight because angels can't die, right? Oh, I get it. They did die. No matter how much you tried to protect them, they ended up passing away anyways. Oh, damn. There's no angel dancing inside. Chainless the faithless ride at night. Damn, dude. Chainless the faithless ride at night. Brutal, dude. Bring God down from his throne. You are death, endless pain. A heart made of ice. What kind of God lets angels die? Damn. Yeah, so this is about people unfairly dying and blaming God for that. My love betrays me, a terrible lesson. I feel incredibly sad because I'm assuming this means that, Kavalkade have had people die too early, God's taken them away. And I think that it's really good material for a song if it's done in a way like this, because this is the conclusion for Last Rites by Kavalkade. I think this is a legitimate reason to be frustrated if you're like a believer of God. Why, if someone's done all the right things, if they're doing the best they can to just try and get through this world, why do they get taken away so young? It does seem genuinely unfair. And I think that the poetry, especially in regards to lines like, we got, what's dusk the sky burns red. Under the snow we bury our dead, a hollow grave frozen in our eyes. This is wonderful imagery there that's being spoken about by the vocalist here. Live forever behind the curtains, It's you think that there's someone in there and they're like, they feel a sense of invincibility or something like that, and then the curtains pull back and then they're just not there anymore, and it's just brutal, dude. It's just brutal. I think that this is handled well in a really mature, intelligent way. I think that, because this stuff can be kind of spicy to talk about, but I think controversial stuff like this, or just whatever. This music isn't meant to be nice and fluffy animals and dolphins and all that kind of stuff all the time. It's okay to have drama in music as long as the music sounds great and it's delivered in a way which makes sense with the music. Because music's meant to make you feel stuff. It's meant to be a way of communicating with the audience and also expressing yourself. And I think the Kavalkade have nailed that with the vocals, and we had this traditional, we had a few different melodic instrumental sections there. We had several different key sections with different easily identifiable riffs. I like the fact that we had the range between different sections, especially in a 4-minute 44 song like this. I think it was really, really well done. It goes into, especially with that solo section in the last third of it, and maybe 3/5 of it after the second chorus. It was kind of where you want to put a solo section like that. It was great. The vocalist, again, while I didn't catch everything that he vocalized, I heard enough for me to kind of get the hang of it without necessarily needing the lyrics, which is great because sometimes it can be really difficult to understand the growlies and the shrieks and stuff like that in metal. And this comes from someone who actually listens to, I love my metal. I love my metal. It's one of my favorite genres of music. I understand that it sounds badass, and this guy is a good growler, is a good screamer, man. I enjoy the way that he does his thing. He or she, actually, I'm not quite sure who the vocalist in this band. I shouldn't say that, especially because I was saying that it kind of reminded me of Arch Enemy. Could be a lady screamer. I'm not sure. Either way, vocalist did well. Okay? Vocalist did well. What else? What else we got? What else have we got? We have also got, the instrumental performances. We've got the guitars, the bass, the drums, like the rhythm and lead guitars. Didn't need more than that in this. Again, we had several distinct sections. The instrumental performances are well done. Not a note out of place as far as I'm aware or concerned. I think that we had varying levels of intensity to the performances. A fairly consistent level of heaviness throughout. And we had additional brighter layers in the chorus and stuff to kind of balance out that chorus, the hooks, and make them bigger. But I think for the most part, we handled the overall performance of this track really, really well. I'm sure these guys sound phenomenal live. Lots of drop C tuned, chugging and sort of string skips and palm mutes and the hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff like that. Some interesting drum fills in 8ths and 16ths and some triplet parts as well. And the bass guitar, while I didn't hear a lot of it, I know I can hear it was there, and it was supporting the root notes really well, and I appreciate that. Finally, the production, the recording, mixing, and mastering. I'm happy with it. I think that, again, the EQing the instruments and the stereo panning and everything was fantastic. If it had been compressed, or if it had been limited more, it would have been detrimental to the performance. Part of the danger with especially with the loudness wars that have gone on with rock and metal ever since Metallica's Death Magnetic, you do have this danger if you don't have perceived, this is obviously the distinction is important, perceived differences in loudness, especially even in tracks that are near 5 minutes. If you don't have moments of that are less intense, it can be detrimental to the listener's experience. Because you need those peaks and troughs. You need to have range so that the loud parts are more interesting and that whoa, And I think, again, if we'd compressed it anymore, we would have unnecessarily removed those changes in the perceived loudness. And because I know that they're trying to keep it fresh sounding throughout. But yeah, it's alright. So we're good. Basically, this is my review though of Last Rites by Kavalkade. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Kavalkade some love via their various social medias and Spotify. Stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as need to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.